went into Pragmata expecting a reasonable, slightly forgettable 7 out of 10, especially after playing the demo back in December 25 when that came out. The kind of game that, yeah, it looked like an interesting idea, it would probably be solid in execution because it's Capcom, and then you move on. Instead, this ended up being one of the most complete and genuinely satisfying games I've played this year. It's roughly a 9 to 10 hour single player action game, and that kinda tells you what it's all about. It knows what it is, it knows what it wants to be, it executes it cleanly, and then just stops. No bloat, no filler, no dragging things out longer than they needed to be. The ideal video game. At its core, Pragmata blends a third-person shooting mechanic with a real-time hacking system, and that's where it really finds its identity. At first, the hacking feels like it might just be this extra system bolted on to make the combat stand out, and yeah, it might be a little bit gimmicky, but the more you play, the more it clicks. Once you start naturally chaining everything together, the shooting, the repositioning, hacking enemies mid-combat, it really creates this satisfying rhythm where everything just flows. The battles themselves are really well balanced as well. You're rarely overwhelmed, but you're never completely coasting either. It keeps you in that sweet spot where the encounters feel engaging, and when you pull through a tough fight, it feels like you've really earned it rather than just maybe looking through or being too assisted. It feels like you've got a really good balance. As you're working your way through these battles and through the levels, the system is then also throwing multiple options for upgrades at you. It genuinely feels like every time you breathe near a checkpoint, the game just goes, alright, jump in, come and have an upgrade and then come back. And that really works for it. Every upgrade feels meaningful, weapons evolve in noticeable ways, your loadout becomes more interesting and more flexible, allowing you to approach combat in different methods. And there's also a really solid amount of post-game support here too. Higher difficulties, new game plus, optional challenge contents, there's a load to do after you've actually finished the campaign. It feels like a real complete package, which shouldn't be such of a novelty these days, but really is. Narratively, Pragmata keeps things fairly straightforward. The story follows an astronaut named Hugh who becomes stranded inside a failing lunar facility. Early on, he's rescued by a mysterious AI girl, Diana, who is a uniquely advanced artificial being known as a Pragmata. The two form an unlikely partnership. Together they work to survive, uncover what went wrong at the facility, and find a way to escape and return to Earth. Along the way, their relationship develops, becoming the emotional core of the story. We've all seen this grizzled protagonist paired with vulnerable companions set up before, but where Pragmata succeeds is again in its restraint. It doesn't overcomplicate things, it doesn't drown you in exposition or try to force it emotional moments every 3 minutes. Instead, it gives you just enough. The relationship between the two characters builds naturally, and there are smaller touches like the drawings she creates between levels that add a surprising amount of warmth and personality. It's subtle but really effective. The performances themselves are understated, which actually works in the game's favour. Nothing feels melodramatic or overacted, it just feels grounded and absolutely perfectly pitched. Visually, Pragmata is a lovely game to look at. This is Capcom's RE engine doing what it does best. It's not trying to be this hyper-realistic technical showcase that kind of melts your graphics card. It focuses on clarity, consistency, and small, self-contained, gorgeous environments. The environments themselves are detailed without becoming visually noisy, which is especially important given how much is happening during the combat. Everything remains readable, you can navigate well, enemy attacks are easy to track, and the game always prioritises function over spectacle. There's always a reason for something to be there, and that's a really, really smart choice for the game. The character models themselves are strong, the animation's really solid, the facial expressions, the visual details really help to sell the story, especially in the in-between level sections. The facility itself has this really cold, slightly oppressive sci-fi feel to it, and even in the more open areas, it feels really, really well put together. It's not the most visually groundbreaking game you'll ever play, but it's got a really strong identity, it uses the engine really well, and it runs absolutely fantastically. So, final thoughts. This is a hell of a game. I genuinely didn't think I was going to enjoy it this much when I came in, but as I said, this is going to be well up there on the Game of the Year list for me. It's not trying to chase every trend, it's not bloated, it isn't trying to convince you that it's some kind of revolutionary game. It just focuses on doing a handful of things really well, and it absolutely succeeds. The combat's satisfying, the progression loop's consistently rewarding, the story lands emotionally without overreaching, and the entire experience is just paced so well. If there's a criticism to make, it's probably that Pragmata won't feel radically innovative for anything. It's not bringing loads of new stuff, but just works really well within what it's trying to do. And there's something really refreshing about a game that does that. This is a video game-ass video game, and it makes a really, really good action game to work through. If you're into focused single-player experiences that don't waste your time, actually feel worthwhile, and give you a really nice complete story to round out, this is an easy recommendation from me.